I want to bring up something right now. When I was a wee lad, and I played Pokemon maybe for the first time ever when I was a little kid. You want to know what I did as a Pokemon trainer? Let me tell you, young laddos, I only leveled up my starter Pokemon. That was my whole mentality when I was playing through. I only leveled up my starter. No joke, never once in my entire life did I level up any of my other Pokemon. Because I never once thought it was necessary. Heck, when I was given Exp.Share, I sold that for money. Yeah, an important item that could have given me an edge. I never once thought that was important, and I sold it for money, and I still leveled up with my starter Pokemon. It was all the way through Hoenn. Now, funny enough, I never once. No, actually, yes, I did defeat Pokemon. I did beat Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Pokemon Sapphire. I did defeat it. I did beat the game, so it was actually quite funny. And I was like, yeah, I beat the game. Now I can go do all my other crazy shit. Although I didn't catch Kyogre, I beat it. Because I couldn't get into a Pokemon. I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to kill it. But, funny enough, I find it hilarious. And I just did it with only my starter. I had other Pokemon caught, but whenever my starter Pokemon was always low in health or KO'd, the other ones just use Revive, Full Restore, or send it back in to just womp on the other enemies. Then just continue on with my journey. I always found it hilarious because, oh wow, people like to say that with Exp.Share off, it has a new level of difficulty and challenge. It does not. It really doesn't. All it does is just makes it more grindy. That's all it does. Oh, a new layer of difficulty and challenge. You wanna know what actually adds a new layer of difficulty and challenge? When you actually go into a gym with Pokemon that are weak to that gym. Where you actually have to plan out every single strategy to actually maneuver around that gym to make it benefit you, the player. That's true difficulty. But then again, these Aussians don't like to say that, oh, Exp.Share should be optional. Because player choice, and it makes it difficult. It doesn't, because of me as because of when I was a child, I could beat that game with no Exp.Share. Then how is it gonna make it prove that it's actually difficult? Now I'm also saying Pokemon Ruleth was a children's, and I think that wasn't all that difficult. True, I did use Swampert, and he did OD all my enemies pretty quick. I'm not gonna lie. So, how about I go with something else? Okay, Johto. Old Style Edition. If I remember, it was Pokemon Crystal. I was a young lad and I beat the whole game. Just my starter. And no powerhouses. No joke. Legit, my starter. The rest of the time, I just sent up Pokemon. And even when I had the legendaries with me, to which you could say, well, then obviously you just use the legendary stuff. Yeah. No, really. Whenever it came to the legendary Pokemon I just kind of had them there. They were more or less like human shields. Yeah, I treat the legendaries not like powerful assets, but rather, oh wow, you're strong? Okay, you take a few hits from me so that way I can heal up my Pokemon. My starter. Really, I really honestly saw them as that. That was nothing else. They normally were KO'd, and then I had to be like, oh, I gotta bring you back because you're the strongest one who can take the most beatings. Okay, you go out there, Beppo. My starter's been taking a lot of good hits, and you need to take some. Go. That's legit how I played. And I use HM moves. Like strength or surf the good ones to actually beat the gyms. beat the Elite Four. I actually find it hilarious. Yes. And even then, this was Johto, old school Johto, the one that should have been difficult. But since my Pokemon, I only focused on leveling them a starter, it literally made everything easier. I could go into the basis of that still had remember that whole difficulty levels thing. Exp.Share was with us since the beginning. That's a fact. Fact. Ever since Gen 1, Exp.Share has always been with us. That's from Gen 1 all the way to now. And they were planning on Exp.Share being an all item, an all thing that can always be that's permanently with you. So I find it funny that everyone forgets that, and it's like such a big thing. It's like a huge thing, but no one remembers that. It's like such a huge thing. It's so important. But no one remembers it. Now, although now that I'm older, I do use all my Pokemon. I don't just send out the strongest ones, sadly. But that's the thing. I now am using my brain. Right, I'm actually utilizing more of it, and I actually strategize more. Heck, even with Exp.Share on, I'm not just like, oh, well, I just don't need to rate my Pokemon. I'll just send out my strongest. This one, no, I still push myself to always analyze, always look through to find options to body the enemy. People who have watched me play any of the fan games are on any of the fan games are on my YouTube channel. You guys have seen me actually go the distance to plan out these strategies just because they're that important to me. Because of how really important that is. Because I just. I'm sorry, I'm just looking through the Pokemon. Pokemon, sorry, but I honestly don't get that. It's always been something, how can I put, confusing? Because if I play through these games and yet I've never once experienced this unique level that everyone says, really, the player lives in the lab evolves in Vaporeon? That's really interesting. So I guess I could beat him. I've never really found it difficult. Or rather, the idealisms of it, that Exp.Share just being off makes it harder, it really doesn't. Now, yeah, Exp.Share Plus Nuzlocke, it does make it harder, but if I was just using my starter road and I was just using all the rest of my Pokemon, assuming shields, to give my starter time to actually just to get back to full health, just so that way you could take another humongous beating again, then really, what really was difficult? I mean, with the red fight, I just caught Pokemon that could actually strong against some Pokemon that I found around Mount Silver that helped me combat Red's Pikachu. Then I just fought the rest of the my starter and whatever Pokemon I could remember were using the battle. I deleted the save. I can't remember can't show you guys it because I fucking deleted it, which is the bad part. But overall, that really does add something here. Does I mean even 10? I could go with. I can't really say. That's actually the other part. I went with home and then Sinnoh, you never. Hmm. And then it was Heart Gold again, but again, but still, I really don't see how it increases the difficulty. If anything, it just means, hey, you get more experience. And then mocking the people who don't really find it that big of a problem because, oh, come on, how can you not see it removes player choice? It really does it though? I mean, I understand it's the idealism of, hey, we should get the choice of where we want it on or off. But if Exp.Share was always meant to be all, we're supposed to give all of the experience from the beginning, then that really brings the question. This Exp.Share for all was something that was supposed to be done permanently because it you could only also it wasn't going to be warped all that much, but it's something that you could just most likely they were planning on keeping throughout, but they couldn't because of the bug. But then they decided to just limit it to one Pokemon. Oh, the funny enough, in his whole, he says it. That's really the weird thing here. I don't understand why EXP for all your Pokemon is really bad because I don't really get it. You guys try to make it sound like it's basically the death of player choice when really I could give you something like some examples. Oh, you don't need to battle anymore. More. In fact, the game battles for you, and if you can't turn it off, it basically you're not playing the game anymore. The game's playing for you. You don't have freedom to do what you want. The game automatically picks what Pokemon to catch, even though you want to catch that Pokemon. But it's like, nope, 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 nope. I think we should catch those Pokemon because they are far more suitable. Well, you don't have choice. I'm the one controlling. They say this removes player choice, but really, this doesn't remove EXP.Share doesn't remove a huge section of player choice. It's like a minor. It's like a flick. It's like a little flick. It's like that's it. It it now it hits once, but then the pain goes away. But if they implemented what I said about you not even needing to, where the game's playing for you, you don't get to plan any of your strategies. The game does it for you. It's literally them removing a limb, moving a limb, and and they basically put a robotic basically punched you in the, or rather, here's it. They rather punched you in the gut, kicked you in repeatedly, spat in your face, and said, "We don't care about your feelings or what you think is best, but best. We're gonna play it, and you're just gonna sit there and watch." That is truly a corrupt version of no player choice. Something that actually would be worth fighting for. Having no having EXP share on or off is like the minorest form of player choice there ever is. Now I will respect your belief to protest, but please respect what I'm saying here. This is a dumb thing this is kinda dumb. And please remember, you guys use this as an argument and echo chamber it. When people give, oh, well, how about this idea that could still give you the difficulty. You guys still say, and I'm going to show tweets that actually do prove this, this, because if I don't, then it's gonna look like, do not fuck with me, Twitter. Do not fuck with me. This is why I don't like Twitter. This is why I don't like Twitter in general. This is one of the many reasons why I hate Twitter. Wonder why I don't have a Twitter? It's because of this shit. I still hate that. This. You know. You want to know why people don't like why some of the people in the community don't like you, Disney Kingdom? You need to know how to be respectful. That's the basic of it. I don't care because I've read these comments. I've read them, and these guys didn't go in calling you a dumbass. Didn't go in calling you anything. Thing, and this I know wasn't about the Hong Kong but they actually wanted to talk and actually have a discussion. So, so- and I want to show you the very ends of these comments. Trust me, they're important. At this point, I feel like we're never going to agree, and that's perfectly fine. Fine. Here's the thing. That's what he says, and I feel like that's perfectly fine, fine, fine. But I have to make one final point here. There are plenty of other ways to make Pokemon more difficult without resorting to grinding, and Pokemon has never been gold in the first place, which is honestly true. But options have nothing to do with grinding. Options have nothing to do with balance. He regurgitates the same points. Now you could say, well, he's regurgitating the same points too. But at this point, he basically says that they aren't going to agree. They're never going to agree, and that's perfectly fine. He isn't calling him an idiot at the end, but he's still regurgitating the same. Well, you can't just say I respect your opinion, and since you respect mine, I respect yours. But then again, his echo chamber group comes in and says they'll never get it. They basically mock the intelligence. Funny enough, I had this set, but now I can't fucking find it. That's the problem. This is the funniest thing ever. I actually have the tweet ready, but Twitter decided to just be like, nope, we need to reload because bullshit. Because Pokemon does it. Yeah, I really don't understand that point. Because if other JRPGs have the Exp.Share for all system, but Pokemon has it, it's a crime. Because it makes the games less more difficult. I don't really understand it. I swear I have it somewhere around here. I know I have it. Had it. It was. There it is. Okay. Funny enough. I, how come it took me this fucking long to find it? But anyway, here. Here. Exactly what I mean by trying to make the games harder for yourself. And even if it depends, and even it depends on the Nozaki you play, since you can still hatch a Pokemon each route, and you can still move your team around when someone dies. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna go from this part. Now, doesn't make the games harder, just makes it take longer. Not really. I've defeat gym leaders 5/10 levels of my team without having to grind to reach their level. It requires an extra level of strategy, use of stats, and setup moves, but that's what makes it more challenging satisfactory. But that option has been taken away. What? Wait, what do you mean that option has been taken away? No, it hasn't. You can actually willingly find a way to avoid trainers to make sure you can still be 5 or 10 levels lower than the gym leaders. It's not difficult to maneuver your way around the enemy. That's kind of dumb. Dumb to say in the last part. Just switch up your team then. With new Pokemon, it isn't like your whole box has the Exp.Share just for just your party. Ah yes, going through hoops and loops, having to constantly diss my current team because Game Freak can't so we toggle it. Yeah, there it is. I don't know. Oh, people can defend them for cutting content. It's not content. That's like a small little nick. In all honesty, it isn't jumping through hoops. So I don't know anyone who keeps the first six Pokemon they catch the whole way through, unless they are trying to make the games harder on themselves. Like yeah, I usually keep two Pokemon the whole team, but I never once solo up or never. But I am never over leveled by the four. Yeah, in all honesty. Okay, fun fact about me when I was battling through Sun and Moon. When I battled through it, the hardest Elite Four members was always Hala and Olivia. Because, oddly enough, their teams were the ones that kind of had most difficulty with. Mostly because she had Pokemon that pretty much bodied my entire team. But, yeah, he brings this up, then someone says Nuzlocke. Exactly what I mean by trying to make things harder for yourself, and even if it and it even it depends on the type of Nuzlocke you play, or they could just do the easy thing and turn off the Exp.Share. Just that. Such a small change needs to make it harder without wanting to Nuzlocke. I see no reason to give you the choice. Yo, Nick, you okay? I was worried about my roommate for a sec, but here's the thing. Even then, you can. Funny enough, even then, when it comes to difficulty, you can always pick not the strongest types of Pokemon. Right? You can always pick those weak Pokemon that everyone knows aren't really all that strong to challenge and push yourself through the whole game, making it more difficult. Cool. But no, we want EXP share. It's really hilarious that people like to shout that EXP share. Sure, no, it's no choice. But really, you have the player choice to make the game difficult yourself. EXP share, if it's off, doesn't make the game automatically hard beyond hell. Heck, I even went through Heart Gold with my own Heart Gold, not through my unique style, but rather the style that I have learned was the somewhat the more mature and right way to play. And guess what? I never once grinded throughout the whole game. I never once had this humongous difficulty. No, because I knew if I just planned the typings properly and accordingly, boom, I'm instantly stronger than every single one of my opponents, and I don't need to work to be difficult beyond hell. That's okay, man. But that's the thing. You know, but then, beating it 20 years ago, so they would be capable of doing it today. Specifically, how many kids early age, age. Yeah, people like to say it's for children, but really the game's actually getting insanely difficult. I think X&Y was the only one that was childless easy. Just fine. Reason to hate the new game. I can't be upset that you turn off yet. Scaling. And we're back to these constant tweets, but let's go back. But in all honesty, this is in my opinion, just childish. You really, I understand it's choice. Yes, you can shout that to the wolves, but still realize you can find a way to go around that stupid, horrid decision and make the games 10 times more difficult for yourselves as the players. I remember, they most likely were planning for Exp.Share for all to be like a permanent thing. Like a thing that was supposed to always be a thing. So, I really So if we really take that into account to where, oh wow, these games were supposed to be always like that. But then, oh no, ex- then really, if the games weren't even that to begin with, and then you guys are telling me, oh well, Nuzlocke are ruined. Again, let me just look at the rules of Nuzlocke, because this is the thing. Nuzlocke aren't really ruined. That's something he says in that video, but the one he says dead on arrival, which is again, word choice. He used that it's a clickbait title, and just says if only once, which is he commented on my video on that critique. I really shouldn't get mad, but I really hate the word choice. I really hate it. I don't like it because it's a very bad word choice. To where you need to realize a lot of people are stupid and they'll take what you said as literal fact. I there. Look, there are so many rules that literally anyone can use use to make the games harder. So I really don't get it. Is this one rule just the make or break point of Nuzlocke? Because if it is, then by God, that's kind of pathetic. That you guys are literally saying it's the death of Nuzlocke because of one optional rule, when there are so many other optional rules that you can add on to it. Or better yet, create more rules. Like, how about this? Whenever you're about to face a gym leader, you must use a team Pokemon that are weak to the type of that gym. Boom! I just created a whole new rule for Nuzlocke that's 10 times harder. And you're most likely wondering, well, what about the Elite Four, or the champion? I really can't come up with one for the champion because you can't actually switch out any of those Pokemon. So, frankly, you just be throwing yourself into one extremely difficult battle with one of the members of the Elite Four. But then again, you'd have other Pokemon from the other three members and the champion. So it kind of be like a bullshit fight, like because you still have these Pokemon there, but there's a chance that you could actually beat them down. It's really weird. But that's the point. And even remember, the basic rules of a Nuzlocke is that you can only catch one Pokemon from a route. So basically, if you have that one Pokemon as the Pokemon that's weak to that gym, you are mandatorily obligated to use only that Pokemon, which makes it crazy difficult. I just made the game 10 times hard, 20 times harder just by that alone. That's crazy. It just proves that I should be the one making the rules for Nuzlocke. I can actually give you guys a challenge. But then again, I'm the one who wants to see you all suffer, so I really shouldn't be the one giving you the challenge. But that's the thing. One, these guys are echo chambers within themselves, and they're hypocrites. It's when they want to bring up these guys. They like to always hype the fact that, oh, this nonsense, they're just idiots and morons. But literally, there are people who are either neutral or who are defenders. There's who give respectful, kind-hearted, going to have a respectful, kind-hearted discussion. But they always just ignore over the fact that they're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying it's player choice, player choice, player choice. They understand you're saying player choice, but they are going over the fact that even though that player choice is gone, it isn't a bad thing. It isn't the death of sword dead on arrival's sword and shield. The one that you clickbaited. That's the biggest problem I have with that video. Overall. Funny enough, I was not given a shout out. Oh, funny. When you made that, oh, it's gonna be the exact same. Dude, you made only like 2 videos being nice to Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield. Only 2. 2. And if all honesty, that second one was you still roasting those who are calling you out. Calling you most likely saying you're just gonna say something negative. Still bringing negativity. Oh, you're saying something nice. It's like you're trying to wrap some niceness in there. And even at the end of your positive things about Sword and Shield video, you still said some negative. Some things that genuinely I found retarded. Seriously, comparing saying Hop and how I really hate that when people compare characters to characters we don't even know yet. Like, oh, Hop and How, the exact same character. Because both are happy, both both have family members that are big shots with how's grandpa being the kahuna, and Hop's brother being the champion, even though frankly those dynamics we 10 times different in every single way, because trust me, they are. Really think about it. Imagine if you had a sibling that was the champion. Imagine what would happen. Because trust me, a lot of people would be comparing you to the champion. Or or that or those people would be basically saying you're not as good as him. You'd be basically compared to your literal brother for the rest of your life to where you couldn't even accept their shadow. Now, the grandfather, that's the wise man, the one who's here to teach you, help you grow. And though a lot of people like you, you're just like your grandfather. You're a good person at heart. There's a lot of shit that can go into it. And also, the whole Bede and Gladian, that was just... I didn't know someone who was trying to get away from his psychopathic mother, was the exact same as a snot-nosed jerk. From what we got him from Bede, he actually looks like it's like the snot-nosed jerk. I didn't know that was possible. And then Marnie. Huh. I didn't know Lily had a bunch of raving. Scratch that, she does. Not in game, but in real life. Jesus Christ! It was like how Twip's video, where they made just the same amount of cruddy arguments. It's, ugh. I always hate that. I honestly hate that the most when people like to just blindly compare characters from a completed product to something that has yet to even be released, so you don't even know what the characters are like. I've always hated that. I always was just like, what the hell? And even then, when those characters actually get development, people normally in the Pokemon community just write them off. Oh, rivals like how will actually get character development? Pfft, he was a friendly rival. He doesn't mean all that much. Much because he wasn't strong. He didn't make me hate him. Is that all the rivals are to these people? things that need to be strong because I need to feel hatred or I need to validate my own strength. Now, keep in mind that Trace had potential himself to become a different archetype of a rifle, but he failed to achieve that. That was a really sad part. Maybe I could make a video on how Trace had potential within himself, but yet the game decided to not go those routes. It's the same as the routes I gave Hop, really. But then I really, but hmm. But in all honesty, I don't really get this. This whole Exp.Share thing. I understand it's player choice, and I understand that it's important. I understand that's all sacred. But if I like to throw my own hat into the ring, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Both sides are retarded, and I genuinely hate both sides. If you're one of my servers who are either one of the sides, I love you to death. Now, but please understand, I do not like either one. I don't support either one. I'm on the universal belief of agree to disagree, and if you're gonna buy the game, buy the game. If you're not gonna buy the game, don't buy the game. I don't really fucking give a rat's ass. Don't have to come to the comments to tell me how I suck. But if you're coming here to have a discussion, please have a discussion. Please understand that I respect your opinion and belief. And if you're going to give me reasons as to why you think it's bad, please. But understand the point that remember, we have the Nuzlocke laws and rules. So Exp.Share is in the optional form. Now, does the fact that Exp.Share being the optional form kill Nuzlocks in general? No, it doesn't. That does not kill Nuzlocks. Now, the idealism of player choice. Is it truly dead? No, it isn't. I've given an example on how player choice itself would be dead is 10 times worse if they did that. So overall, the real idealism of player choice is still there. But does that make the games hard? I've already given reasons on ways to actually make the games 10 times harder within themselves. But since people like to say, oh, well, I should use feature on or off. Dude, it's not that hard to get past the, past the player, past the NPC characters out there to challenge you. But then again, I guess you're so lazy. You'd rather have them toggle on or off than find a way to actually make the games harder for yourselves. Am I right? You like to call the other side lazy, but really, in all honesty, you're lazy yourselves. It's stupid. It's childish, petty, and stupid. And I'll keep on saying that till the day I die. Both sides are dumb. Both sides need to grow the fuck up. And I frankly don't like this whole on player choice. So, we talked about Exp.Share. We talked about how I personally have dealt with it. And I hope you guys didn't just take it one ear and not the other. And you really thought about it. There are multiple ways to make this game harder for yourself. It's not difficult. The fact that Exp.Share for all is still there doesn't mean a thing. Excuse me. Very little for dinner, and yet I'm burping like a mad dog. But does that kill the games? No. You just need to understand that, in all honesty, so I know that if you're not gonna buy, I know someone in the comments who honestly told me I'm not gonna buy the game because of this and this and this. And I respect that. I honestly do. I respect your belief. I respect the fact that you aren't buying the games because of these reasons. And I hope you can respect my belief that I'm still buying the game because I want to connect with my friends who are in different colleges right now. This is probably one of the only ways I can connect to them other than through the phone. Plus, I want to write. I have a right. I want my rematch. We weren't able to do it with Ultra Sun and Moon. So I really hope we can do it with Sword and Shield. That's the ultimate reason. Although he's going to have the Gigant, and have Tyranitar and Larvitar Jango way before me. So fudge, I'm dead. But I will still find a way to win. And this is a guy who knows And that guy knows how to IV train competitively breed the whole Shabako. And I was able to beat him a few times. I'm not flexing, but I'm just saying my stupidity and my way of battling somehow was able to beat his. Just saying. But I can't show you guys proof because all that footage is now gone. But let me get back on topic. Player choice. Now you could say that Exp.Share for all being something you can't turn off is the death of player choice. But if Exp.Share for all was with us since was there in Gen 1, but they couldn't implement it properly, so they had to only make it to one Pokemon, and they've been continually doing that. So maybe, in all honesty, we're planning to do it from the very beginning. But at the start, they wanted to make it so that way it'd be something like a reward to the player. There's something that they could get when they saw, and they'd be like, "Oh shoot, wow, I caught 50 Pokemon and I got this special thing." It'd be like a gift, like, "Hey, since you caught 50 different types of Pokemon, we're gonna let you have this thing that's gonna make make your train your Pokemon super Pokemon like a weight off your back." That was the belief of it. But what I don't like is this whole proprietary idealism that since Exp.Share for all is now mandatorily thing, the games are extremely bad now. You guys are going based off the argument of the tree to which I gave an example using another game that obviously if that game since that game was going based on 2D style all graphic wise, then that game shouldn't have worked either. But it still did. It still got a huge ton of money. It was a huge success. So really, it really does ring the question. Shouldn't. In all honesty, is what you guys are arguing about really important or really make sound? Now I know I didn't really go after King's video because I wasn't trying to. I was more or less finding that belief a player belief that is Exp.Share being mentally on truly a horrendous thing. To which I may or may not have given the right answer. I don't know. But I hope I at least gave something. I don't believe that Exp.Share for all will be the death of Nuzlocke. Or will it ruin Nuzlocke? I don't think that is. Because I can still find ways to make the game harder for myself, and Glee, I know other people's can too. It's not difficult. Maybe it's because of the fact that my brain's wired to always to just think multiple times over. I might have some form of my brain's always unique. Like I, I have an overactive imagination. Basically, my mind's always overlaps and always thinks of constant solutions on other areas of what could happen, possibilities. It always overloads with that to the point where it's crazy. Rather, not crazy, but just whoa. So when it comes to this, and I'm like, well, there are multiple ways you can actually fix this. This without just even with Exp.Share should be mandatorily on. So the idealism player choice doesn't really even hurt it. But then people will just say player choice is still important though. And this is such a horrendous thing. It's like destroying player choices self, but really, it isn't. With my overactive imagination, I can think of something far worse that is far more damaging and more example of player choice being really taken away from us than what this is. This one little thing that may or may not have been something that was supposed to be permanently added to the game from the beginning, but they added a GIF, but then they realized they couldn't make a buck, so they were forced to just put it for one Pokemon. Then over time, they decided to, when they had more know-how, they added for all, and now they're adding it in permanently. Oh my gosh, you know what'd be funny? Is that if they found some cool, unique way, like how they did it for Kanto, like from the very beginning, is that, oh, hey, if you want it off, there's like a special little thing, little thing that you can find if you do the specific thing, but no one finds it and they just agree with it, and then I find it, and then I'm like, oh wow, I can turn off Exp.Share, and everyone's like, what? Funny. But overall, I hope what my video has given some help. I need to study for my biology, and I have something for my persuasive speech to do. But I can let this video go off here for now. To anyone who's watching, remember, we just talked about Exp.Share and people being stupid on Twitter. But then again, is that really shocking? It's Twitter. Or rather, people trying to give sound arguments on Twitter. People don't listen, and only go regurgitate their argument points because my argument makes more sense. You just aren't reading. But anyway, see you later, my gummy worms. Oh yeah, I figured out a name for you guys, my subscribers. You're now called. You think I'm calling you gummy worms, but you understand. I swear to God, go work. Okay. That's the name. Gummy worms. Yeah. I just. Yeah, I just went with. I went the laziest form ever. I just put gummy and worms, which is like a subspecies of dragon, I believe. No joke. I'm. Oh my gosh. I'm wasting time trying to explain this whole thing, but yeah, they're a dragonic creature. That was like the whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Share this video, subscribe, like, share, the whole boggle. Bye.